The word used by Sri Krishna is interesting. He says, Na kama kami, not the one who is desirous of desires. Whatever you want, you never want that. You're just using that to want something else. You don't love, you never love, because love cannot happen without self-knowledge. Love demands your address, no? How to proceed with such an awkward love affair where you go and propose without knowing who you are? So if the body says, I want to eat, you say, I love food. If the body says, I need a soft mattress, you say, I love soft mattresses. Or let the society decide. These are the two you outsource your love to. It's the body that's the default decision maker. So your job is that of a rubber stamp. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 70th verse of the second chapter. Just as rivers flow into the ocean, but the ocean remains unmoved, undisturbed. Similarly, the person into whom all desires enter, but who remains ocean-like, unmoved, undisturbed, he alone is peaceful, not the one who is engaged with objects. The word used by Sri Krishna is interesting. I said not the one who is engaged with objects. He says, Na kama kami, not the one who is desirous of desires. You do not find this word very often in spiritual literature. What he's saying, let desires enter you, but you should not become kama-kami, which is kami of kam, desirous of desires. I'll read it for you. Interesting. Tadvat kama yam pravishanti sarve sa shantim apnote na kama kami. Kama kami. Not the one desirous. He could have said that you don't have to be desirous of objects. Instead, interestingly, he's saying you don't have to be desirous of desires. The usual way of putting it is that you're attracted towards objects. You're often told, objects cannot give you what you want, and the usual stuff. We have deliberated so much on it. But instead of saying don't be pulled towards objects, he's saying such a person, ocean-like, unmoved, undisturbed, is not pulled towards desires. Na kama kami. He's not saying, mind you, Vishaya kami. He's saying kama kami. Why that? I'll tell you. You are never interested in objects per se. Therefore, you can never be accused of being interested in objects, because that is not the truth. the eye, the nose, the ears, the skin, the mind, all these are programmed to be interested in objects. But you are the one interested in peace, not in objects. Please understand. You are anyway never interested in objects. Objects are never your primary attraction. Though we say the fellow is so much desirous of this thing, that thing, money, house, person, whatever, fame, relationship, something. This fellow wants that. You don't want that. You're using that to want something else. Get this clear. Whatever you want, you never want that. You're just using that to want something else. Yes, you are kami, that is desirous, but not of that object. That object is just an intermediary, just a means, just a trick you are playing on yourself, just a rope you have given to yourself to pull something else to yourself. But again, in absence of basic self-awareness, you may not know that. You may feel, no, I want a new sofa. The sofa is my love. That's why all wisdom literature and all spiritual process simply has to be like a mirror. It doesn't have to be a motivated journey to somewhere else. Don't go anywhere. See yourself as you are, wherever you are. That's spirituality. But we obviously are not quite spiritual people, so we do not know what we want. We think we want the sofa. But you are just using the sofa to want something else. And that's the reason why you do not stop desiring even after you get 10,000 sofas. Because in the first place, it was never really the sofa that you wanted. Have you ever stopped desiring after the fulfillment of any desire? And it is not that you are so particularly unfortunate that you never had any desire fulfilled. Right? Nobody is so blessed, rather, that none of his or her desires would ever attain fruition. Doesn't happen. Maya comes to you in the form of fulfilled desires. So you do have fulfill desires, don't you? You wanted something, you got it. Does that stop the endless circle of craving? Does it? So that alone should have made it clear that it was not the thing, subtle or gross, whatever kind, animate or inanimate. Never the thing that you wanted. You wanted something else. Hence, things come, things go. But the crying vacancy within remains. No? But we are not, as we said, self-aware people. So we do not know what we really want. Since you do not know what you really want, so the task of wanting is then conveniently outsourced to the biological senses and to the social conditions. Please appreciate the gravity of that sentence. Since you have no sense of who you are, therefore, the very fundamental process of wanting is outsourced to, delegated to, I would say, lost to the body and the society. You allow them to want for you. Like it happens in any outsourced process, no? You should have done it, but somebody else is doing it for you. Why is somebody else doing it for you? Because you don't know how to do it. And since you don't know how to do it, you cannot object even if that service provider is doing a very botched job of it. Because you anyway do not know how to do it. You don't know how to cook. So you employ a cook. And even if the cook cooks terribly bad, what can you do? You have given up your right to complain because you gave up your responsibility to learn. No? Or you can keep grumbling under your nose. That won't make a difference. The cook very well knows that you are choiceless in this matter. You'll have to go by whatever he serves you. You do not have a choice. So that's what we have done. The tremendously important job of wanting has been left to the body and society. We let them want for us. And now let it hurt you. We let them love for us. You don't love, you never love. Because love cannot happen without self-knowledge. Love cannot happen to you if you do not know who you are? Love demands your address, no? The loved one, the beloved would ask, hey, wonderful, yeah. I think I can accept your proposal. But before that, I would want to know a few things about you. And the moment you ask this, you start uttering nonsense. No, yeah, How will the beloved accept your love, even if they want to? The problem they'll face is whose love? Whose love? You're like going to someone and saying, I love you. And they say, very well and wonderfully said. But who are you? Yes, I am in a mood to accept your proposal. But who are you? And you say, I am this. And the fellow says, but this is your shoulder. Who are you? No, I'm this. This is a cheekbone. I'm this. That looks like the shirt you are wearing. If you do not know who you are, how can you love? Even if, let's say, they are crazy or careless enough to accept your proposal, the next thing is about setting up, let's say, a date. And the problem would be where to come. And you do not know where you live. You have never had a real home of your own. Like the fallen leaf. You have found yourself strayed and sprayed all over the place. Do you have a home? No. You may have one of this thing, but this is not we are talking of. The next thing they ask is where to come. Write an address. And you have no address. How to proceed with such an awkward love affair? Where you go and propose without knowing who you are. They'll ask you. The beloved is a very accommodating lover, actually. This is a secret I'm letting out, so let nobody else know it. The beloved doesn't say no, ever. Ever. Very generous lover. The moment you say you love the beloved, the response is always yes. If you go authentically, the response is just an echo of your own authenticity. And vice versa. If you go like a rascal, you would get what you should get. So the beloved is sitting there all ready to accept proposals. Come. Come one, come all. I am here to say yes. The only thing that I need to know is who you are and where you live and such basic things. Even to get an Aadhaar card, these things are needed. Right? Even to get basic sarkari ration, you need these things. Don't you think you will need these things to get liberation? Or ration is pricier than liberation. Even there they ask for some details, right? So in the inner world also, the beloved would ask for some details, and those details can be known only if you have known yourself, only if you have lived an inwardly lit life. But we know nothing. So when you are asked, who are you? You give stupid answers. I am Manish Jaiswal. The beloved lets out a guffaw. He said, what Manish? Who are you? That's a given name. That's a given name. Tell me your real name. And to you, it's like a Zen koan. What was your name before you were named? When the child is born, for the first few days, there is no name at all. You simply say baby, it. You don't even address the child like a living thing. Have you seen in the English language? You call the infant as it. All your names are given names. What's your real name? What's your real name? We play a trick. We call the baby it, but the moment it gets a name, we start addressing it as a conscious, sentient being. No. It would be much fairer to continue calling the human being as it, its entire life. Because you're always just a thing. One in a million manages to come to a place where he can be said to have transcended the itness. You understand itness? Materiality. What else is a little baby? A little material emerging from the womb, knowing nothing except its programmed instincts. Getting it? But after a while you start talking, walking, and you're given an identity and some kind of gender clothing also comes into play. And you start feeling as if I am somebody. No, you are not somebody. You are something. You are something. The proof is when the beloved asks for your name, you name things like the body. When the beloved asks for your address, you again name things like the house. You are born a thing and you always remain a thing. And it is this thing that you go to the beloved as. And gives you many fair chances. In fact, he gives you an infinite number of chances. Every moment in life is another moment to propose and be accepted. Unending love affair this life is. Go propose and be accepted. Every time you go, very basic questions will be asked. In different forms. But all fundamentally just one question: who are you? Because that is the only question through which the depth and sincerity of your love can be gauged. The beloved is not an idiot like the usual woman or man. The beloved will not ask you, so please tell me, how much do you love me? The beloved will not ask, how much do you love me? The beloved will say, how much do you know you? The beloved is not interested in a stupid discussion. You'll always remember me, na? The beloved will not get into all this. The beloved will simply ask, do you know yourself first of all? And if you do, that is sufficient. If you do not know yourself, what use can be you to anybody? You can be of no use to anybody because you have been of no use to yourself. That is the only service you needed to render yourself, right? Go and know who you are. In your entire life, you have failed at it. How will you be able to do anything worthwhile? Hmm? Are you getting it? So again, just say, I love you. And the only question that is asked is, what was your name before you were born? So you are sent back. Sent back, but with still an infinite number of options to return improved. Not infinite really, because the number of breaths is finite. So only that is the limit. You go back and you mug up some kind of artificial answer to this question and you return. This time when I will be asked, what was your name before you were born? I asked ChatGPT and I have mugged up the response. I'll vomit it when asked. This time you'll be asked, so what was your face like before you were born? Such very inconsistent. Very whimsical. Can't stick to one query. Now he's asking, what was your face like? So you say, all right, I failed again, but I'll just return in a sec. So again you go and next time the question is, what will be your gender after your death? Either you say nothing. Or you spew idiocy. Either case, you are sent back. You go. Life, go back to life. Because life is your opportunity to learn these answers. And once the answer is learnt, you return. Or you could say, once all the stupidity, the foolish answers are unlearnt, you come back to me. Again, any moment. Are you getting it? Then all kinds of variations you again ask, and this time you mug up or try a teleprompter or something. 48 variations of the question you have mugged up. And this time he says, speak without speaking. What is being said? I do not know. Or what is the house of your house? You live in your house, but where does your house live? Okay, what kind of stupid? So finally, tired of all this, you outsource loving itself. You say, anyway, love is probably not something I would ever be eligible for. So let the body decide and let the society decide. Because if I were to decide, I would be just forever disappointed. I would never meet the criterion. Let the body decide. So if the body says, I want to eat, you say, I love food. If the body says, I need a soft mattress, you say, I love soft mattresses. Or let the society decide. These are the two you outsource your love to. The body says, now I am 20 or 30 or 35. I need a man or woman. So you start saying, I love a man or I love a woman. It's the body that's the default decision maker. You are just there to forward what the body is saying, to accept what the body is saying, to legitimize what the body is saying, to accept the recommendation of the body. Compulsively accept, not just accept the recommendation. And when a recommendation is compulsory to accept, it is no more a recommendation. It's an order. Getting it? So your job is that of a rubber stamp. The real decision gets made somewhere else, and all you do is put a seal of approval on it. Right? The body decides what to love. And similarly, the other decision maker is the society. They make the decision, and your job is to say, I did it. That's your only job. Because you don't exist. Had you really existed, you wouldn't have needed to outsource the thing in the first place. And now, apparently, the task becomes simpler. Because when you used to go to the beloved, you were asked uncomfortable questions. And now these two are deciding on your behalf. And there is nobody to say that you are making a stupid reply. Are you getting it? And they are doing their job. Nobody is to fault them. The body is acting as per its programming, and society is a collection of unconscious individuals interested much more in order than in love. What else is society? A lot of unconscious people get together and then create a system, an order to secure their unconsciousness. That is the society, right? But apparently the society looks good because there is order. And so you feel that had these social norms and customs not been there, we would have faced chaos. And order looks better than chaos. So we say the society is doing a good job. But the order is a fact. And the apprehension of chaos is just speculation. When you say society gives you order, and absence of social discipline will give you chaos, you are assuming that the same unconsciousness would, however, still remain. It is not society really that is giving you whatever it does. It is always the center where the society comes from. If the society is coming from unconsciousness, then there would be chaos beneath the order. Similarly, you could have an orderless society comprising of conscious people, and there would be a lot of order. You could have a very free, very unstructured society, but of conscious people. And conscious people would anyway not need and not even follow orders or structures. But there would be a lot of order. There are so many of you here. I ask you to keep walking in this limited space for 10 minutes. And there are so many of you, and this place is limited. Will we find a lot of collisions? Why? Why not? I'm not telling you how to walk. I'm not giving you instructions or lanes. I'm giving you nothing. I've just said, be yourself, walk. And if you want, you may even sit down. Will we see collisions? No. Because you are awake to an extent. So you don't need an artificial order. Right? But if you were a set of machines, automatons, robots, and had I said just walk, you would have bumped into each other. Would have bumped into each other. Right? Like on a billiards table. You can have a situation where a lot of balls are moving. And what do those balls do? They continuously keep bumping into each other. Why? Because each of them is unconscious. Or on a carom board, it is impossible to have one moving piece not get into other pieces just by dint of probability, nothing else. And if there is no collision, that too would be just because of probability, not because of consciousness. But if conscious people are here, and let's say you are 10 of you, even if we have 20 of you, there would still be no collisions. Why? Because you are individually conscious. But the society is not a collection of conscious people. It is the systematization of unconsciousness. That is what you call as society. And typically, in any group, there is a pyramid of consciousness, which means that the base is very broad, like in a pyramid, which means numerically any society would always be dominated by very unconscious people. They would always be the one in great majority. This broad a base. And then what happens in a pyramid? Let's consider just a simple two-dimensional pyramid. XY. In this triangle, there is peak. And before you come to the peak, you find a deep reduction in the volume, the space, the area, the quantity. So the conscious people would always be fewer. Lot fewer. Hence, those who get to make the rules, determine the order, would be, even in a society, the most unconscious people. So first of all, as a whole, the society is unconscious. And even in this unconscious lot, those who are making the rules are the ones right at the bottom, because they are the brute majority. It's not that societies are totally bereft of illumined people. No. All societies are these pyramids where there are certain people at the top, but they would always be a pitiable minority. So if you look at the center of gravity of the society, it would be somewhere here. Let's say the peak is here, but the center of gravity will be here. This is the base. This is the peak. This is the center of gravity. But the ones making the rules would not even be at this center of gravity. They'll be all below it, because that's where the bulk lies. So that's how the society works. And you outsource your life, your love, your decisions all to this kind of society. And then you quote the dictates of society as something sacred. This society, you say, the entire society is doing this, there must be something in it. Like, seriously? If you find the society doing something, recommending something, practicing something, adhering to something, believing in something, that is additional reason to be cynical of that thing. Because the society is basically run by the lowest kind of people. They are the ones who hold all the power. If you just want to know how rotten a society is, you don't need to work over a sample of 10,000 individuals to draw some statistically valid result. You don't need to do that. You just go to the top rulers of that society and you will know the state, the worth of that society. Because it is the bottommost that choose the topmost. The bottommost choose the topmost because the bottommost are the ones in
Majority.
overwhelming majority. So the topmost will be a reflection of the bottommost. Just look at the top man and you'll realize, okay, so this is the state of this society. And it is to this society that you have outsourced your love. Why? Because you couldn't answer that simple question. Right? Who would you be if you were not who you are? Such a simple question the beloved asked. And you started fumbling and stuttering. Who would I be if I am not who I am? But I am who I am. And who are you? I am Manish Jaiswal. Game up. So you said, fine. Getting this beloved to accept my proposals seems impossible. I am outsourcing love to, on one hand, the body, the other hand, the society. And then they start determining your life, which was never yours to begin with, which was not life at all to begin with. We flatter ourselves, we pamper others by using he, she. It would be far more authentic, we said, to simply say it. Don't call somebody a somebody, call them something. Don't call them as persons, call them as things, because that's who they are. And that would be an act of compassion, actually. You're not a person, you're a thing. Becoming somebody is a possibility, a challenge that you never took up. So you're better addressed as it. Don't say who's that sitting there. Simply say, what's that thing kept there? Don't ask somebody, like, why are you sitting here? Simply ask, who kept you here? Because you anyway never move on your own. Your legs are not yours, right? So it may appear that you walk to that place. No, but you were really kept at that place. So simply say, yes. Who kept you here? Address them by their physical attributes, because that is anyway what they take themselves to be. Hello, Miss 55 kg. Because if you are the body, what's the problem in addressing you by your weight? The body has only these attributes like weight and such things and dimensions. Hello, Mr. 5 feet 6. Hello, Miss 58, 48, 68. Why do you want to be called as like somebody? I'm Nikita Puri. No, you're not. Any resemblance to a thing living or dead is purely coincidental. I'm not to be dragged to the court for that. Things are very quick to take offense, no? All your life you have been treating yourself as just a body. So how is it not befitting if I address you as Miss 32 teeth? All right, polished teeth. Some concession. Hmm? Or Mr. Mango Crate, your entire body is just a storehouse for mangoes. So I will call you a Mango Crate. You don't need any other name. Hundreds of mangoes stored in that space. Yeah, Mango Crate or Mango Grave or whatever. This is what happens, right? And when you suffer the consequences, you start blaming objects. The body told you, I love food, and you binged on food, and then you suffer. The body doesn't suffer, mind you, you suffer. The distinction is, when you fall asleep, the body is still the way it is. But do you suffer then? Do you suffer? No. Hmm? So, you outsource decision making, including the central decision of love, to the body and society. And they do their things, and then you suffer. They don't suffer. You suffer, right? The society pressurized you to do something. Now, is society bearing the consequences? The society is happily doing its own stupid thing as always, and it's you who is now grimacing in unspoken grief. So the body wanted food, and now you're suffering. So you'll say, I am suffering because of the food. Or the body went to a man or a woman, and you went ahead and got hitched, and you'll say, my life has become hell because of that woman. You blame the objects. Do you see? Not your objects, objects of the body. And then the shallow kind of spirituality, the Lokdharmik way, becomes about treating those objects as some kind of enemies, which is another way of striking a relationship with those objects. Don't you have a relationship with your enemy? So the body did its own thing. The body will go after food, the body will go after sex. The body did what it had to. And because you didn't have love, because you couldn't answer the beloved's questions, so you relied on the body. Right? In matters of love. And now the body is only doing what the body can do. The body is doing its own thing, but you suffered, and then you suffered. My suffering is because of food or that person. Because of food or that person. So now you're thinking of food and that person. And in this thinking, you have again forgotten yourself. This is Lok Dharma. I will avoid food, I will avoid sex. And these two are very, very major things in the stupid kind of religious paradigm. Very important. You look at any organized religion in the world, see how enthusiastically they talk of food. This is to be eaten, this is not to be eaten, this is to be eaten this way, this is to be eaten that way. This is not to be eaten in nights, that is to be eaten in day. This is how you cook it, this is how you slaughter it. These animals are not meant to be touched. And that animal, your God, the loving, made for your consumption. So you should definitely slaughter that animal. Such foods are pious. No, don't eat that food, because when the asurs were running, they just urinated at some place, and from that onions were born. So you shouldn't eat all these things. Like neurotic association with food. Do you see? Now do you see why? Because the body is food. In fact, the Upanishads very beautifully call it the food body. Annamaya Kosh. That will explain the Lokdharmik obsession with food. Why it is all the time talking of food. You must take this kind of milk and offer to the deity. What? Why food? Food, always food. Because the body is food. And the second thing Lokdharma is obsessed with is sex. So there is that chilling video I just saw yesterday. A man and a woman have just been killed in Pakistan, Balochistan, for what was till now called as honor killing. Now we are calling it dishonor killing. Very chilling video. Because the killer is the woman's brother. And there is a solid crowd assembled there. And there is that Jigra, the local council of elders, social elders, which means very, very experienced in stupidity. That's what an elder means. I am much more experienced in you. I am much more experienced than you in practicing stupidity. And that's my claim to fame. So this council of elders has ordered that these two must be killed. And who is carrying out the orders? The woman's brother. And there are some other people also. And there are hundreds of such cases in that country every year. We have those cases in India also. But when it comes to things like honor killing, Pakistan is special. They are killing everybody left, right, center. One 17-year-old girl was killed because of her Instagram account. And usually the killer is the brother or the father. Are you getting it? Obsession with sex. This is the person you will marry, this is the person you will not marry. What does marriage mean? Sex, right? So just as the society, just as the body is obsessed with food, the second thing, no, body is not obsessed with, body has a legit relation with food. Similarly, the body also has a legit relationship with sex. You are born with your genitals. Nobody comes and artificially implants them. If it is a sin, it is a sin that starts from the womb. You never had a choice. Right? You are born with your sexual identity. And that's what the body is, a sexual thing. So the body will do its thing. The body will go after its sexual programming. And the body will bring objects of sex in your life, and you have no self-awareness. So you allow those objects to become your objects. They should remain objects of the body. But you have allowed the body to take decisions on your behalf. Why? Because when it came to taking that decision, you faltered. Because you could not do it on your own. You allowed the body to do it. Because you do not know what real love is. So you allow the body to go after physical love. And the body will go after sex. You can't abuse the body for that. The body is meant to do that. Right? And then you will be suffering. And when you will suffer, you will put the blame on the sexual object. You will say, this woman, or this man, or that act is the reason why I am suffering. So you will find Lok Dharma constantly obsessing with sex. No, that brahmacharya, this Veera Raksha. Simple reason, you were such a loser. And you are constantly a loser in front of the beloved. Such a loser you are. So you have decided to fight a fake and proxy battle. You are fighting sexual objects of the body as if they matter. How does it matter? How does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. And that which matters is totally lost on you. So you see, all the organized religions, we said, if you look carefully, you will be astonished why they are all the time talking of food. Jews, they'll say, no, this such food is kosher, this is not, this, that, or no. And then sex. No. This thing, that thing, this kind of person, that kind of kundali, that kind of gotra, this kind of that kind of this. I mean, as if that is the most important thing in life, sex. So much regulation, so many rules. Think, why? Because these two things are very, very important to Lok Dharma, food and sex. Why? Because Lok Dharma is all about the body. Food and sex. So they will regulate. Which is not needed to be regulated. This time you must get up, this time you must sleep, this is what you must wear. All of these things are related to the body. You are really a virtuous man if you are getting up at this time in the morning. And why are you wearing this? Are you not a holy man? Again, you are wearing this striped shirt. Yes. There is no way you can be called holy. Body, again body, again body. This lokdharmic obsession. Body, which definitely then implies food and sex. Babaji is continuously talking of these two things: what to eat and whom not to fuck. That's all. And that's what his brahmacharya is all about, right? Now hold it tight. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Like my gym trainer. 5 more seconds. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, come on. Don't give up. Yes, 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 yes. Why? There at least you get some muscles. What kind of muscles are you building? And won't it look a little ugly if you have like biceps there? That fellow is fascinated by the imagination. Getting it. It is not your relationship with food or woman or man that is wrong. It is your relationship with your beloved that is missing. You don't have a relationship there. That was the one relationship you needed to have. Instead of that, all you have is a void. What do you get then? Neurotic infatuation, food, sex, and then after these two, there is the next counselor called there is this counselor called the body, and the next counselor is the society. And then Lokdharm will be so much about following social norms. This month you must definitely go there. And social norms, they take the name of culture. Culture. Have you seen how these two words go together? Dharmic and Sanskritic. There should really be no relationship. But when you do not know your real dharma, which is your relationship with the beloved, then the culture of the society becomes your religion. When you do not know real religiosity, which is about being in love with the truth, that is real religiosity. When you do not have that, then the behavioral pattern imposed on you by the society becomes your religion. Culture then becomes very important, and you constantly keep talking of culture, culture, culture. You should do this. That's the way you should wear. That's the way you should walk. That's the way you should smile. That's the way you should cook. That's the way your house should look. Do you see this? All of that manages to have a hold, a stranglehold on you only because you do not have the real relationship. And you can have it anytime, just that you will have to answer those questions. And those questions can be very easily answered if you bother to look at yourself. To answer those questions, you don't need a mobile screen, you need a mirror. And you'll answer. But a mirror is the last thing your upbringing ever showed you, or your education. They're not about showing you the mirror, they're about showing you dreams and fantasies. Are you getting this? There is so much contained in this single expression of Krishna, Kama Kami. Not Vishayakami. Because all objects are objects of the senses. And rightfully so, let them remain there. The problem is when you become desirous of the desirous. These two have desires. Which two? The body and the society. Let them do their thing. And because the society is also just a random collection of bodies, so we can call even the society as some kind of a superstructure of bodies. That's all. So essentially it is then just the body. Let the body do its thing. And the body knows its objects. Why have you made the body your object? Your object should have been the beloved. And the beloved is such a brilliant object, such a unique object, that it dissolves the subject. Instead of focusing on the beloved, you focused on the objects of the body. And that's what your entire religious organization is about. Objects of the body. Discipline the body. All things related to the body. When you become 25 years of age, then you should do this. 50 years of age, age of the body. Therefore, the knowers, they said, no, we discard all this 25, 50, 75 thing, nothing. Entire life is a love affair. It doesn't wait for a particular age, nor does it end at a time. And then the varna of the body, that too was rejected by the wise ones. The society did all these things, varna, ashram. The wise ones totally rejected them. Varna of the body. Then ling, again an obsession with lok dharma. Ling. Again the wise ones said two hoots to this thing. We don't care for the gender. What we care for is just one thing. That thing. That. Up there. That's all that we care for. All else, but what will happen if you think only about that truth or sky or whatever that Acharya says, self, Atma. If you think only of that, then, won't you become, that bad thing? I mean, all kinds of lasciviousness. I didn't get you, auntie. I am saying you will become a smutty slut. No, I won't. I won't. If I'm loyal to the one, I'm not a slut. That's the only loyalty I need. I'm loyal to that one. And when I'm loyal to that one, I'll anyway have no obsession running after bodies. However, I too am an embodied thing. I too have this body. And this body will do its own thing. But I will not be investing my energy in persuasions of the body. The body will do its thing. And I will do my thing. I will not be stopped by the body, nor will I be interested in stopping the body. And we have seen that when such a thing happens, the body starts following you. When you just tell the body, you are free to do your own thing, but I won't budge. I have my own thing to do. Then it is seen that the body starts following you. And that is the right relationship between you and the body. Are you getting it? So the body is kami, and you should not have calm towards the kami. Do not become kami. Do not be desirous of the desirous one. Let the body have desires. Fine. You have your own thing to do in life, right? Why should you supply your energy to the body? Because the body, to pursue its desires, needs a lot of your inputs. Why should you supply that inputs? Actually, the situation is far worse than this. It's not that the body needs your support to follow its own agenda. The fact is, you push the body to follow its objects in a very, very unnatural way, very artificial way, so that you can feel fulfilled. Not getting it? The body has a certain need for food. Yes, no doubt about it. But do you eat for the needs of the body? Because you have this gaping hole here. And why does that hole exist? Because you do not know the simple answers. So there is a big hole here. So you eat all kinds of bullshit. The body does not need those things. Yes, the body needs food, but you do not eat for the body, you eat for yourself. You use food as a substitute for the beloved. What a foolish effort. Will you ever succeed? Because you don't have the real thing, so you are trying a burger. Think of the man. Rejected by the beloved. He is trying to stuff in a huge Maharaja burger or club sandwich. Or a mammoth mango. The mango will enter and then leave. The whole will remain. Mango comes in, mango goes out. The whole remains. Body needed mango, yes, but only this much of mango. The body does need mangoes, but the body said, okay, give me some mango. And it is all right to have some mango. You're not a sinner if you have some mango. The body has it as its legit needs, which is fine. They are not even needs, they are the processes of the body. If they do not exist, the body will cease to exist. Can't even call them as needs. Air is not a need, air is the body itself. Pranamaya kosh. Getting it? So because you do not have the real thing, you amplify the desires of the desirous one. Who is the desirous one? You are not the desirous one. You cannot have desires. You are the lover. To love is a very different thing. To desire is something of the body. And all desires belong there. You are a lover. And when that love remains unmet, not honored, then you too become desirous. How do you become desirous? By investing yourself in the desires of the body and the society. Then you invest yourself there, whereas you should have invested yourself somewhere else. Because you have not invested yourself enough in love. So you invest yourself unendingly in desires. The tragic thing is, those desires are not yours. The desirous one is somebody else. The kami is really somebody else. Who is the kami? The body and the society. The desires come from them. They have desires. You only have love. But because you dishonor love, so you are forced to become desirous. How does desire end? So many people come to religion stung by desire, defeated by desire, fed up of desire. They say there are just so many desires. How to get rid of desire? Only love can end desire. What you call as desirelessness is actually just love fulfilled. And then desire becomes pointless. Getting it? Then you have what Sri Krishna is saying here, like the ocean. The ocean's got its depth. And the rivers keep entering on the surface. And the ocean doesn't bother. The rivers may come, the rivers may leave. What difference does it make to the ocean? And the ocean doesn't stop the rivers. And when the rivers enter, they often bring in some trash also. The ocean is all right with that. We are not talking of the current polluted situation. The ocean is not all right with how things are right now. But in a natural state of things, so many rivers enter the ocean. The ocean does not bother. It does not go to welcome them. Nor does it block them. That's the relationship of the lover with the objects of the body. He's not concerned with them. If the body is interested in an object, let the body go. I'm not welcoming that object. And if the body is actually interested and the body is going to an object, I'm also not blocking. Why will I block? Why will I not block? Because I'm secure in my depths. I'm the ocean. The depth is my love. I got it. So why will I bother about surface turbulence? Not even in a tsunami are the depths of the ocean troubled. You may say, oh, the sea is very rough today. Internally, it is always calm, very calm. Nothing reaches there. Not even sunlight reaches there. Think. We say black holes are the places where even light gets eaten up. After a particular point, the oceans are dark. At the bottom, they are almost 100% dark. Nothing. Nothing reaches there at all. That's your address. I live where nobody can reach. And if you live at any other place, you will be troubled. You must always live at a place totally unapproachable, totally inaccessible. Everybody. Everybody. Let them approach your body, let them access the body. You cannot prevent that beyond a point. They can even capture your body, put you in a prison. That too probably you can't prevent. But even if they put you in a prison, you must still be at a place they can never reach. And there will be a smile, which they will never comprehend. They'll think they have you captive. You know, they cannot reach where you are. And if they have to reach where you are, they'll have to reach the beloved first, because that's where you are. Are you getting it? In the middle of all action, all activity, be like the depth of the ocean, or like the expanse of the sky. The sky is a better metaphor. Why? Because the oceans, all said and done, they are finite. And you can measure the depth. The deepest point is, I suppose, 10 or 11 kilometers. Sky, actually infinite. Touch me if you can. I can't be touched because I'm so far away. No, I'm everywhere. Even this is sky, is it not? So I'm available and yet I am not. I am with you, I'm around you, I am in you, and yet I am not. That's who I am. Here and not here. Of this world and yet not of this world. That's the way. It's a good way. It is only when you do not have the real thing that stupid things become very material to you. Both their possession and their renunciation. The worldly man and the lok dharmik ascetic, the so-called sant, are just one and the same. The worldly man is running after money and sex, and the saint is also obsessed with the same things. Just that the worldly man is saying, I want that, and your so-called saint is saying, you should renounce that. But both are nevertheless always talking of just that. When you are the real being, then you are interested too much in talking of that. Let that be. That's an object of the body. That's not my object. Why should I be so worried? I have my own affair to take care of. And my beloved is a bit finicky. Small mistakes, and I find him distant. So I have to tread this path very carefully. सूली ऊपर सेज पिया की. And he very silently gets distant, annoyed. I don't even realize why there is a distance now. So I have to be very careful. I'll put all my energy and attention in managing this affair. Why should I be bothered about those things? But the distorted religion is all about those things. Food, money, cultural norms, sex, just those things. Stupid things. Useless things. Things that you don't need to think of. Things that fall in their own place on their own. If you take care of the one thing, then all the other things need not be taken care of. They fall into their place on their own. Ek sadhe sab sadhe. Are you getting it? And you will always find that the fellow who does not have his heart at the right place will be the one most eager to talk of all the stupid things. Often in the name of religion itself. He'll say, I'm very religious, therefore I am talking of, no, you should not wear brown with black. You will attract a lot of misfortune. That kind of crap. Are you getting it? Focus on the real thing. Huh? All else will be taken care of. By the way, that is what faith is. If you focus on the real thing, all else will be taken care of.